This pregnancy yoga class is suitable for all trimesters, and I'd like to set the intention now that in this class we build a little bit of energy. So this is for those of you who've been feeling a little bit slumpy, a little bit blah, and just really low energy, which is super normal during pregnancy. Your body is busy building an entire human from scratch. So in this class, we'll hopefully make your body feel good and take some time to rest and turn inward, but also use the breath to build a little bit of energy and a little bit of fluidity as well. If you enjoy practicing with me, I would love to invite you to my online yoga circle, which is my online community full of practices around fertility, pregnancy, and postpartum, and it's a beautiful community as well. So the link for that will be below. So I always encourage my students during pregnancy to use and embrace lots of props. It will help to make poses more accessible as your belly becomes bigger and maybe you start to feel a little bit uncomfortable in your body. If you don't have specific yoga props like bolsters, you can use rolled up blankets, or cushions and pillows off your bed work great as well. So we're actually going to start in a really nice restorative position today. So using my bolsters, I've created this upright position because I know during pregnancy, I often felt like I was being suffocated if I lay flat on my back. So this will help to keep my chest upright, and then I'm just bringing some cushions underneath my knees to support the lower back. I want you to have a nice final little wriggle and get yourself comfortable. The palms can rest upward, and then we're just going to close down the eyes. Taking this moment here just to arrive in our practice, arrive on our mat. Perhaps setting a personal intention for our class today. Perhaps it's to find some peace or quiet within the mind. Or maybe it's simply just to make a bit of space in the body, have a little bit of a stretch out and to feel good. Whatever has brought you to class today, just take a moment to reflect on that. And bring that intention into your awareness. Let's lift the hands above the head now, across the palms, and just rest on the bolster or blanket behind you. Let the elbows fall out to the side. You might feel this stretch across the shoulders, maybe across the chest. And just breathe into these spaces that we're creating in the body. Good. Release the hands down. I'm going to push those pillows out the way. So just use the feet to push them out the way. And then adjust your body so that your knees are facing in one direction. So you might roll to the side and then reposition yourself on these bolsters. I'm just going to do a gentle spinal twist here. So bring the hands down to the same direction as the knees, and then inhale the arm up and over, opening out through that chest. Allowing the hips to move as well if you feel you'd like to go that little bit further, so we're not straining through the pelvis at all. And then exhale, gently close. Inhale, open. And exhale and close. And one more, inhale. Let's pause here in the twist, take a breath. And then gently bring the hand all the way back. Use the hands to support you to come back up, and we're going to roll the knees to the opposite side and do exactly the same thing in the opposite direction. So get yourself positioned on the bolsters first, and then inhale up and open. Really exploring this space in the body, how it feels for you. Where can you make a little bit more room to breathe? And then exhale and close. Inhale as you open. Good. Exhale and close. One more. Inhale. Let's take a breath, a pause here. And exhale, close. Good. Press the floor away as you come up to have a seat. If you need a little bit more space for the hips, if you're finding that you're quite round in this position, you could sit up on the bolster a little bit, and that's just going to bring the hips a touch higher than the knees, which can feel quite comfortable. If it's okay to sit flat on the ground, I want you to bring the soles of the feet together and then take them away from the body slightly. So we've got this nice diamond shape here. As you inhale, I want you to lift tall, lift the crown of the head up. And then as you exhale, I want you to gently lean forward. And again, let's stay with this movement. Inhale as you open. Shine that chest forward, and then exhale. Allow the body to round and just find a bit of a rest here. Curling in on oneself. Inhale as you open. And exhale as you close. Let's do 2 more of these. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Good. Come to sit upright once more. The legs can be however is comfortable now. So if you want to cross the ankles and bring them in a little bit closer, that's fine. Inhale as you sit nice and tall, and then take the left hand up and over. Plant it on the ground behind you or on the bolster if you need a bit more height. And then take a gentle twist, looking towards that left shoulder. Again, you can let the pelvis move. You don't need to feel like we're grounding through the sit bones and then twisting only through the upper body. That can put too much strain on the pelvis. Feel free to let the hips move if you like. You could even adjust the feet so that this hip can kind of move and twist as well if that feels better in your body. Good. Gently release back to the front. You're going to come to the opposite side. So as you inhale, sit tall, lift that right arm up and over, find the floor or the bolster, and then find that twist through the spine. Each inhale takes you a little bit taller. Each exhale, you might find a bit more space in the spine. Good. Gently release back to center. Hold onto the knees. We're going to do a few seated cat-cows. So just like we were doing with the legs outstretched before, inhaling and opening through the chest, and exhaling and rounding through the spine. We're going to do a little bit faster though than we did before, just to build a little bit of energy through breath. So inhaling and exhaling. Inhaling and exhaling. Inhaling and exhaling. One more here. Inhale and exhale. Good. Let's come up and over now, facing our bolsters and bringing those pillows in as extra support if you want, making it extra comfy. So leave those for a moment. Come to the end of your mat as we do a few rounds of cat-cow here. So hands underneath the shoulders, knees underneath the hips. As you inhale, lift the tail, lift the head. Big breath in, and then exhale it out. Round through the spine, push the floor away, push into the tops of the feet. And again, inhale. This time as we breathe out, we're going to sigh it out through the mouth. Let it go. Again, inhale. Let it go out through the mouth. Good. Return the spine to tabletop. Walk your body forward. We're going to use this as our support now in a child's pose. Take the knees nice and wide, so you're almost coming to bring the knees on either side of that bolster. Bring the pillows in as close as you like, so depending on the size of your belly as to how much space you'll need here for the belly to rest. And then you're going to bring the hands underneath the head as you gently rest the head down. This should feel really good for your body. Everything should be comfortable and supported. If it's not, grab some extra props and make sure it feels good. If the knees are a little bit sore, you could bring another cushion underneath the bottom so that there's a bit of space and we're not crunching into the knees as much. So get yourself settled and comfortable. Breathe deeply into the belly here. This is a great position to hang out in towards the later stages of your pregnancy. It's giving baby lots of space to just hang, creating space in the body for them to find the right position for birth. Throughout all of your pregnancy, though, this is a beautiful pose just to rest and restore in. Hopefully encouraging our body to take the rest it needs so that we have the energy for the rest of our day. Allow yourself to consciously relax through the face, the neck, the shoulders, the upper back, the lower back and hips. Let everything sink here. On your next breath, slowly rise the body back up. Leave the props where they are. And come up into a high kneel. So give yourself some space to do this. As you inhale, come up onto the knees. I want you to bring the hands to the lower back. I'm just going to hold in this position here, and I want you to gently tuck the tailbone under so there's an engagement through the core, not a strong engagement. We obviously don't have the muscles at the moment to do that, but just an awareness of the pelvis. So we're going to tuck the pelvis under and then tilt the pelvis back. So sticking the booty back and then tucking it under. And do this with the breath, inhaling and exhaling. And then holding on to the low back, I want you to gently just lift through the chest, squeezing the shoulder blades back together and finding a neutral position with that pelvis. So not sticking the bottom back and not tucking it under, finding that midpoint that feels good for you. Opening through the heart, drawing the shoulder blades back together, and hopefully noticing that we've got a stack from shoulders to hips to knees. As you inhale, I want you to take the arms up. And as you exhale, I want you to open out to the right. Take a breath here. Keeping that neutral position through the body. Can you gently just lift the front arm and lower the back? Inhale back to center. And again. So maybe making a little bit more space in the body as you lift the arm up. And then back to center. One more, inhale. Good, and then exhale. Let's come all the way back to center, rise the arms up. And then exhale, take a seat into the heels. Let's take a few pelvic circles here. So feel like the top half of your body is stirring the bottom half of your body, like your pelvis is rolling around in one direction, sort of releasing out any of that tension that we created by holding the body strong. Reverse your circles. Good. And then when you're ready, we're coming up once more. Oh, cramp in the foot. Massage out any cramps as required. And then bring the knees under the hips. So we should feel nice and stable here. Have a little bit of a play with the hips once more to find that neutral position. Core is gently engaged, so we're feeling supported here. Shoulders back and down, and then rise the arms up. As you exhale, take it to the side. Find another breath here. And then we gently reverse, finding a little bit more space through the body. Back to center. Good. Coming all the way back to center. Use these props in front of you as support to bring the left foot forward and come into a kneeling lunge. If it's not super supportive with the cushions, you can just come onto the bolster to make it a little bit more sturdy. So find the props that work for you and then rock and roll your way around these hips, noticing any tight spots, maybe finding some stillness if that feels good for you. If you want to, you could pick up the back knee and make it a little bit stronger, stretch into that calf a little bit more, but you don't have to. You could stay grounded through the knee. Let's creep the hands back now, bringing them to frame that front foot, leaning the weight into the back leg. As you inhale, lengthen through the chest, lift the head slightly, and then exhale, gently fold over this front leg. So you should feel a really nice hamstring stretch up the back of that front leg. Breathing deep here. Good. From here, I want you to walk the hands around to the front, and this back leg is going to come behind you. And then walk the hands all the way up till we're in a gate pose. So in case you can't see this foot, the outer blade of my foot is gently pressing into the earth. As you inhale, take the arms up. And then as you exhale, we're going to reach that right hand down to the ground and take the other arm up and over. So beautiful side body stretch here. And then inhale, coming all the way up. So if this is too much, come down first with the hip, use the thigh to come up, and then creep down the opposite leg. So you can always use lots of props to make these poses able to be done, even if you've got a super big belly at the moment. Breathing here, see if you can draw that shoulder back, opening through the heart a little bit more. Good. Coming all the way back up to center. Reach the hands down. I want you to sit on this back heel. Take the toes of this foot up to the sky now and getting a beautiful stretch through the hamstring here. If you want to come a little lower, you can. You don't have to though. This is definitely optional. If you prefer to stay upright and supported, please do that. Let's take 3 full deep breaths here. Good. Slowly coming up. So come up onto this top knee and then bring your hands around to frame this foot as you bring the back leg back around, and then step the front foot all the way back, coming back into your tabletop. Let's take just a few little rocks and rolls here, resetting through the body. And then step that right foot forward so we come into the same sequence on the opposite side. So if you'd like that bolster back in for support, just to bring the hands a little higher, just rocking and rolling through the hips here. Good. Let's bring the weight into that back leg. Frame the front foot as you inhale, lift and lengthen through the chest, and then exhale, fold over this leg. Inhale, lift and lengthen. Exhale, gently fold. So this can be a really subtle movement. It doesn't have to be big and grand. We're just gently stretching during pregnancy so we don't overstretch. Inhale and exhale. All right, let's reverse now. So walk the hands to the back of the room, pivot this left leg, press down into the outer blade of that right foot, and then come up into a high kneel. When you're ready to reach down the left hand, right arm comes up and over. So a nice long line from the top of the hand all the way down to the outer blade of that foot. Breathing here. And support yourself to come all the way back up, easing the hand down the leg and rising the other arm. So you can gently draw that left shoulder back. And then return to center as we slowly untangle ourselves back to our tabletop. So bring the hands underneath the shoulders, knees under the hips, rock and roll, reset once more. Good. And then I want you to come into a comfortable seated position for our final meditation together to end this class. So that might be up on a bolster like I am, so that again, the hips are higher than the knees. If you would prefer to sit in a chair because that feels most comfortable for you, please do that. Often in pregnancy yoga, I take you into a lying position for our meditation. However, given our intention is to build energy in this class, I'd actually like you seated so that hopefully at the end of class, you're not feeling too sleepy. We've moved the body, we've shifted some of that stagnant energy, we've built the breath, and hopefully we're feeling a little bit more energetic and ready to get on with our day. So coming into a seated position, there's no fancy breath work here. You might like to bring your hands to the belly. So this is also a moment to connect in with that beautiful growing baby that's in there. Find some length through the spine, so the crown of the head is lifting tall. And I want you to really consciously let that belly hang. So no more gripping through the belly. Everything is soft. And while there's an energetic movement up and down the spine with the breath and holding yourself upright, we're also relaxing into this position. So letting the face soften, the jaw relax, neck and shoulders heavy. To keep the breath full and deep. So each inhale fills the belly, fills the side ribs, fills right to the top of the chest. Hold the breath full in the body, full of breath, of energy, of prana. And then as slowly as you can, like letting an air out of a pinprick in a balloon, exhaling fully, deeply. And then repeating this pattern, breathing in fully again to belly, side ribs, top of chest, even into the back side of the ribs. All spaces in the body that can be filled with breath, expansive and full. Holding the breath there. And then slowly letting the air leave the body. Consciously relax through the shoulders, letting go of any tension that you feel in any places of your body. And in this quiet, noticing the mind, perhaps instead of letting the thoughts lead you, perhaps leading the thoughts with an affirmation or mantra. My body is strong and healthy. My baby is healthy and happy. Or perhaps simply in this moment, I am content. I want you to breathe into whichever affirmation or mantra you choose, keeping the mind repeating those words, keeping the focus, and allowing yourself to truly feel them. We start to bring ourselves back, blinking open the eyes, releasing the hands, maybe rolling the wrists, shrugging the shoulders. I hope that you are feeling better in your body, maybe a little clearer in your mind after this practice. As I said at the start, if you would like to join me for more yoga practices for pregnancy, but also for postpartum and with children, you'll find them in my online yoga circle. We would love to have you join our community. The link will be in the description box, and I hope to practice with you again soon. You might like this class next.